You know what? We haven't yelled at people enough in this commish. I don't mean like the speakers. I mean,
and we began to chat about that.
he's a pro-sodomy activist? Oh, get on air. Come on, let's have fun. Yeah. Okay. What do you mean he's a pro-sodomy activist?
Barack Obama doesn't believe in the sanctity of marriage.
Uh-huh.
Barack Obama believes that marriage can be defined in any way that anybody sees fit, but
that's right.
That's not coming into correspondence with reality. That's not acknowledging the truth about human nature. That's
what's your name?
To define human nature.
What's your name?
My name's Ryan Sorba.
All right. Hey, Ryan, let me ask you something. If Ted and Bill get married, what does it do to your marriage?
Well, the reality of the situation is that Ted and Bill can't get married because marriage means total sexual community. And total sexual community means being in community with another person as they are.
By the way, I've never heard that. I like that term, sexual community.
What's
that
human
sounds
nature?
fun. Is that like an orgy?
What is human nature? Can you tell me what human nature is? Can you define that?
Yeah, well, human nature is following your own nature, whatever it might be. And if your nature is to be gay, it's to be gay. I mean, God put that in them.
Have you heard of the born gay hoax?
No, I haven't, but I can't wait.
The born gay hoax was invented in 1985 by Marshall Kirk and Hunter Madsen, both Harvard grads.
Uh-huh.
And the born gay hoax was their strategy meant to divert attention away from the behavior of sodomy and turn attention toward a so-called gay identity. Uh-huh. Why did they do this? They did this because they wanted to repeal anti-sodomy laws. See, in 1985, Bowers v. Hardwick...
But why did they want to do that? It's just because they love sodomy so much?
Well, the argument is human nature is a substance of body, sense, emotion, reason, and will in relationship. What the homosexual does, or the pro-sodomy activist, is they ignore the body as an important part of their personal reality. They ignore the body as an important part of who they are.
Okay.
And so they blind themselves to a part of who they are and what others are. They don't try to know the truth and reality of the other person as they are, but rather they try to define
but don't a lot of guys do that
in an irrational way.
Ryan,
of course they do.
When they just have sex with women? In fact, doesn't that happen every single night?
And
hundreds of times at every college. So why are you focusing on sodomy?
And
why not focus on that other?
Would you call that moral? What those guys do on those campuses?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
because
not moral.
you and I have
it's
different
using other people.
You and I have different definitions of moral. You don't want to get into that. I'm curious about your position though. So why are you focusing on sodomy? Why does that?
Well, because pro-sodomy activists are trying to make their lifestyle and their behaviors legitimate through law. They're trying to do this through marriage. They're trying to set marriage as a social legitimizing factor.
But you think it's illegitimate?
Of course it's illegitimate. It's not moral.
I don't get,
it's
Ryan.
a deficiency of being. It's
Ryan,
not knowing reality.
But here's the thing I don't get. Why do you think they're going through all this trouble? I mean, do you think they're faking it? It's not really natural. They don't really have these instincts.
Of course.
But they want to just mess with Ryan? I mean, why go through all this trouble?
A lot of them have got
so much grief from people like you.
A lot of them have got deep-seated psychological problems. For example, Ellen DeGeneres, whose stepfather tried to molest her 3 times. He never got around to doing it, but she had to live with him after he had tried to molest her several times. And she had to stare at him while they were eating breakfast every day, this man staring at her. She developed a fear for her father and generalized it onto all men. Prior to this, her mother's autobiography notes that she was interested in men and talked about how hot Sting was all the time.
Ryan, there's some chance that you have deep-seated psychological problems.
There's definitely no chance that I have deep-seated psychological problems. There is a chance that I'm motivated and that I'm defeating you in this debate right now. Which you engage me in.
We'll put it up on YouTube. We'll give it to the crowd and let's see what they think. Hey, Ryan,
sure.
Look, so you think every homosexual person doesn't really love the other their mates or anything like that? They've just got this whole hoax thing. And they have deep-seated psychological. All of them have deep-seated psychological problems. All my gay friends that I know that don't have psychological problems, they're hiding it from me. It's just a giant hoax because they just love sodomy so much. So let me ask you this: if they love sodomy so much, why? Why do they love it so much? Is it because they're in cahoots with the devil? What is it? Why do they want it so much?
Let me answer your first question, and then I'll move on to your second question. The first section was, do they love each other? Is it evil to love each other? Well, eros, or romantic love, properly defined, has to be governed by the good if it is to be a good eros, or a good romantic type love. So what is the good? The good is that which is in accord with human nature. It is perfective and fulfilling of all things, and therefore that which all things ultimately seek. And essentially what they're doing is, human nature, or the good, which is in accord with human nature, is to see another person and to be in community with their body, sense, emotion, reason, and will. They ignore the body as an intrinsic part. It's an abstraction.
But you just told me they're all about sodomy, and that's all part about the body, right? They're obsessed with the body is what you told me earlier.
They ignore the self-evident nature of the human body. Wouldn't we consider it unnatural for a person to have perfectly healthy, fully functioning eyes but not be able to see, or fully functioning ears but not to be able to hear, why then would we consider it natural for a person to have perfectly healthy, fully functioning male or female reproductive organs, but then just be dispositionally incapable of ever using them to accomplish their natural reproductive purpose with the opposite sex? Okay. It's not rational.
No, wait, Ryan.
It's a meaningless combination of words to say that sodomy is moral.
I understand your position. So explain this to me. Okay, first of all, they are using their genitalia. They're just using them in a way that you, for some reason, got in your head that you don't approve of, which I honestly don't. They don't give a rat's ass that you don't approve
It's about objective morality based on
objective morality.
Principles.
Objective.
First principles. It
Okay,
starts with
all right. So let me
intelligence.
ask you about that. Okay, so nature. You keep going to nature. All right, you keep going about nature. So let's talk about it. Almost every single animal species has almost every single animal species has homosexuality, including the human species. It is in nature by definition. So why do you think you, with your eros and your good and all the things that you actually got from the Bible, but you pretend have intellectual merit, why do you think you know better than what nature actually is?
First of all, sodomy has not been observed in all animal species. It's been observed in less than 2% of all animal species.
You're just flat out wrong.
No, you're flat out wrong. You're going to have to look up your facts. Look up Rohrgarten, who conducted a study and found that homosexuality was
penguins are
observed
gay.
in over 14,000 animal species.
Elephants are gay. Giraffes are gay.
There are more than 1 million animal species. It's in 0.2% of all animal species. Now, can we really say something's natural and normal when it occurs in 0.2% of an animal species, of all animal species? No, we can't.
That fact is flat out wrong.
My dog will take your leg under the dinner table and have its way with it. Is your leg the object of the dog's attraction, but it's not the subject of it. It's not the subject of the dog's. The dog just may prove that dogs
let the dog do whatever
masturbate,
he's going to do.
but it doesn't prove in any way that dogs have a gay identity like other human beings. Does your dog bark with a lisp? I don't think so. Is your dog attracted to the male gender of the other dog? No, it simply desires to be stimulated.
What is in the nature
Dogs
of the
do
dog?
not in any way develop a gay identity that's in any way comparable with human beings. Their desire to be stimulated, and the other dog is not the subject but the object of that dog's attraction.
So, look, the dog wants to rub up against
Does your
anything
dog bark with a lisp?
Let me finish, okay? All right. So the dog wants to rub up against anything it wants. Let him. It's in his nature. Do you understand that? So you look at the dog and you say, you are being immoral, dog. You are not following your good nature, and Eros would disapprove. You need to get with a female dog. Leave the dog alone and let him hump the couch.
Let me explain this to you. What separates civilization from savagery is human reason. All right? Now,
they reason that they love each other. What is your problem with it? Why do you care so much? I mean, look, they love each other. They don't do anything to you. Why do you have to butt in their business and get in the middle of their sodomy?
It's not love. It's a loneliness.
How do you know you're not even gay unless
because
you can tell me that you are and you know?
I am not and never will
Okay,
be.
so then how do you know?
Listen.
You've never been gay, right?
Listen.
You've never been gay,
Absolutely not.
Okay, so then you don't know how it feels to be gay. Do you? Do you know how it feels? Then how can you tell me that it's not reasonable?
The born gay host was invented in 1985.
All right? Okay, go ahead.
Marshall Kirk and Hunter Madsen penned and published a low-profile document entitled The Gay Agenda in a pro-sodomy movement magazine called Christopher Street.
Because they feel it. They feel it. What, you think that this is fun for them?
In the Gay Agenda, they outline the central importance of shifting the central issue in the debate over sodomy away from sodomy and toward a sexual pseudo-identity called gay. Initially, there was no enthusiasm among other pro-sodomy activists to adopt this proposed strategy.
There were no gays before. The Greeks weren't gay. The Romans weren't gay. There were no Greeks
until
1985?
Prior to 1862, there is no known record of any human being ever claiming to have been born with same-sex attraction.
You're awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Alexander the Great, these guys,
they engaged in sodomy, but there was fertility cult worship.
So why did they do it? If it wasn't
natural,
why did they do it?
They did it because they believed that if they were to ejaculate onto the ground, it would give the world seed, the earth seed, Mother Earth, Father Sky,
so they didn't
and it would cause
it.
Crops to grow.
Oh, they didn't like it. They just wanted crops to grow.
It was pagan ritual.
Right.
Wait, and any perverted society can adopt this behavior. Why was it more widespread in the Greeks? Something in the water was making all the Greeks gay? I don't think so. It was something culturally adopted.
All right, Ryan, you just told me that you think that all the gays throughout history that we know about, they weren't actually gay.
There's no known record of any human being claiming to have been born with same-sex attraction prior to Karl Heinrich Ulrich, a German lawyer and a man who had been molested at the age of 14.
Stop talking about Ulrich for a second and listen to me. None of them were actually gay. None of them actually wanted to have gay sex. They actually wanted to spill
None
their
of them had
seed on the
developed a
ground.
gay identity.
Okay, hold on. And they wanted to spill their seed on the ground so they could grow crops. That was their actual objective.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's
weird.
Yeah,
well,
you're right. It's weird.
Study history because there's a lot of weird things in history, and I think
you're
it's weird
arguing
too.
that you believe in
coming
human
onto my
reason.
side because you think it's weird, just like I do.
You're crazy.
You're coming over to my side already.
I couldn't be less
weird.
on your
It's
side.
kind of weird.
Ryan, so you think that all these people that are gay in the country and in the world,
Persons that
hundreds
engage in
of millions-
sodomy are persons that have developed same-sex attraction are intrinsically disordered.
Okay, they're
They're
all
out of touch
disordered.
with reality. Of
You're
course, they're
ordered.
missing something.
You've got everything
that's
straight.
natural about the human nature. I'm not saying that I'm a perfect person, that I'm never immoral, but when I am immoral, I'm acknowledging that I.
But
that I
okay,
do
so let's go
engage in
back
moral
to
behavior.
So this happens in nature to hundreds of millions of people, but you say it's unnatural. You say yes,
the number of
it's
it takes place in 2%.
2% of people, which is perfectly natural. If I were to accept that number, which I think
it's perfectly natural then for people to become prostitutes. It's happened in
Yes.
every civilization throughout
Yes,
history.
exactly.
It's perfectly natural for people to take drugs.
That's
it's
right.
perfectly natural for one person to come up and slap another person because they get angry at them. It's natural, but what divides what's merely natural from civilization is called reason and principled self-restraint. You order your emotions in accord with reason by way of your will.
No.
that's the everlasting philosophy of the
there's a
natural
very
law.
important distinction here, okay? And you got your distinction completely wrong. First of all, you talk about reason, and then you say completely unreasonable things. You say it's not in nature when it, in fact,
No,
it is
I'm
in
saying that it
nature.
occurs in
You say
nature,
that
and a
they were
relatively
gay,
small
but they did
percentage
it
of
for
animal species that are looking to
did
copulate,
it
not
for-
for a lifelong
All right.
partner, and they don't bark with lisps.
Okay,
Gnats don't.
The dog with the barking with lips is such an irrational argument. I can't
course
believe you
it's not.
continue to make it.
The fact
Look,
that dogs
we got to
are
wrap this up.
anywhere-
Let me
Okay,
ask you
that's
this. Okay, let me ask you this. You say that the difference is, hey, somebody slaps, that's natural. Somebody's being gay, that's natural, but it's wrong because it's not reasonable.
It's not
No,
natural.
Do you understand?
It's irrational.
Okay.
There are different definitions of natural.
Okay. Do you understand?
There are different ways of
Right. Do you
using that
understand that the difference between the slapping and the gay is if I slap you, I'm hurting you. I'm involving someone else. If they're having gay sex with one another, or if they just love each other and they're man and man or woman on woman, it doesn't involve you. So it doesn't really hurt anybody. And it is your morality that you're putting on them, not their morality. And so my question is, why? Why do you care about them doing something that doesn't affect you at all? Why are you so obsessed with gay? Why are you so obsessed with sodomy? Why are you so obsessed
I'm not
with
obsessed with
homosexuality?
anything. I know a lot about a lot of different issues.
Talking about
Let's talk about
sodomy.
abortion. Let's talk about foreign policy.
No,
but
but
first
you
of
came in
all,
yelling about
but
sodomy.
First of all, no, you asked me why Barack Obama was declaring war on traditional American values. And the two
And you
big
came in with
American
sodomy.
value
Sodomy.
issues were sodomy and abortion.
So why do you care?
American
Why do you
value
care
issue
so much
is-
about
is-
sodomy?
is right there.
Why are you
Now,
obsessed with
listen,
sodomy?
Listen. I'm not obsessed with what I'm obsessed with is
You
marriage.
are. You just came-
defending marriage.
Okay.
I'm not obsessed
But it's
with
not.
sodomy.
But you already
Well, this
admitted
is
it has
one
nothing to do
aspect
with your
of that
marriage.
issue.
But you already admitted it has nothing to do with your marriage.
Of course it does. It devalues marriage. Little kids grow up. They observe persons of the same gender
So
marrying.
you're worried your kids are going to get turned
Not my
gay.
kids, because I'm not going to put my
Then
kids
why do you
around that,
care?
but they're going to be on
But then
TV.
why do you care?
I care because these guys are getting in our schools, telling little kids that it's normal. They're telling churches that it's a
Oh, so
hate
it's about
crime to
church.
say that it's a sin.
So okay,
That's
so it's
one
about
aspect.
church.
There's
It's
a
about Bible.
multifaceted
It's not
aspect.
reasonable at all. You got it from the Bible, right?
The Bible is based in the natural law, and I can explain that to you, and that's reason.
Okay, so bottom
is
line,
reason to the
bottom
to the
line is
sea
you're
rat.
worried that either you're going to turn gay or
No,
your
I'm
kids
not
are going
worried
to
that
turn
I'm
gay.
turning gay. I'm worried that you're already turning gay, and that's
Okay.
why you're
But
defending
why do you
sodomy
care?
so
No, but
much.
why do you care if I did turn gay? Why does that bother
Because
you?
it's immoral. And let me tell
But
you
why
why.
do you care
Are you
about
ready to
somebody
hear
else's
why? Are you
moral?
ready to
Yeah,
hear?
I've been dying. I'm asking you 20 times.
It's called, okay, what is good, what is evil? Good is acting in accord with your nature. It's actualizing your potential for your nature, which is humanity. Evil means a deficiency of being. You're not being what you are. You're not rendering your existence intelligible. And when a person does this, they build a wall of illusion between themselves and another. And therefore, they don't relate to others. They relate with an illusion that they made up themselves, and it leads to a devastating kind of loneliness. And if you look at psychological reports from persons who have developed same-sex attraction, they're lonely, they have mental disorders.
So
they
you're
develop
just looking
other
out for
mental
gay
disorders.
folks.
I'm looking out for everybody.
You're looking out for gay folks.
Homosexuality will lead to a devastating kind of loneliness and even madness.
But they
because
don't
it's a
want
sin,
your
it's
help.
a deficiency of being. They don't know what they want. The end of
I
human
know,
life
they're
is
so
happiness.
stupid, right?
Happiness is beatitude.
They're
What's
stupid,
beatitude?
right?
Living in truth.
You know,
It's living in correspondence with reality and not a lie, not illusion.
So tens of
It's
millions
coming out of Plato's cave. It's waking up from the matrix of of irrational conditioned response. Study
All right.
psychology.
So finally,
It's experiencing reality as it is.
tens of millions of Americans who are gay, possibly hundreds, not hundreds, tens of millions of Americans who are gay,
2% of the
Okay.
population.
All right, you say
Depending
are
on
not.
where you live, it can vary.
You're saying they don't have reason.
They were not born gay. That's first
okay.
of
They're
all.
not
They've
rational
developed
actors.
a disorder.
They're not, and they've developed a disorder
for different reasons.
and they're being stupid. Okay, and you
They're
just
not
want to
being
help
stupid.
them.
I'm not saying
you said that
anybody's
earlier.
stupid.
Actually, you said that 2
well, if I
sentences
did,
ago.
then it was a mistake, and I don't
Okay.
remember it. But
Okay.
if I did, it was because you were yelling at me, and so I
No.
probably
I'm
said
just
that.
trying to understand.
But what
you're
I'm
trying to
saying
help
is-
these poor folks.
Well, no, what I'm trying to do is tell America
But they don't want your help.
that
they think you're
the
judging
truth
them.
about this.
They
They're a
think you hate
propaganda
them.
machine. They are a propaganda machine. I hate lies. If they're telling lies, I hate what they're doing. I don't hate who they are. I hate what they're doing. I hate what they're doing to themselves.
But
and
here's
they
the thing.
need.
If it's unnatural, why are you concerned about it? Because nobody will turn gay if it's unnatural. But I think
What I'm saying is that people
you're worried
can.
that it is natural.
What I'm saying is people can, and
oh,
it's
people
not
can.
natural.
Oh, people can.
Natural
So
means
can
it's in
you?
accord with the nature of
Can
the
you?
subject.
Can you turn
Something
gay?
may occur in nature, but that's a different definition
Can you
of
turn
nature.
gay?
If we say that a
Can you
thing is
turn gay?
natural, no, I can't. Because
So then what are you
I've got
concerned
my
about?
philosophy down, and I'm 26.
Okay, but other people can
If
turn
I was
gay.
younger
other
and,
people can
and
turn gay.
hadn't
Can
been
you- can
through the
people
gauntlet
turn-
of reason
can
and
people
had
turn
grown
gay?
up in ancient Greece, yes, people can. Little kids
Is it just
going
for
to
the
school
crops,
can.
or is it because they
Why did
actually
Ellen
like it?
DeGeneres become gay when she used to be straight? Why
Mental
why
disorder,
do they
right?
have Camp Sister Spirit where they recruit women to become lesbians? Why do girls who go to parties in college kiss other girls? They do it for attention, right? They're becoming gay
They love
for
the kind of attention you give them, Ryan, right? Where you say, I think you're immoral. I think you're irrational.
Prostitutes
I'm
love
judging
the attention
you.
they get when they go to jail, don't they? But they still do it.
Is
they
it
have
possible?
a vice. They have a vice.
No, they don't.
Sure they do. It's
They're-
vicious. It's a
they're-
vice.
they're-
It's not virtuous. It's nothing that's going to bring them into correspondence with truth or the reality about their human nature or what they are as human beings.
They need the money, dude. That's why
They
they
need
do
the
it.
money.
Okay, Ryan, don't you get that these people who
A
actually
lot of people need money that aren't prostitutes.
Okay, these people who actually love one another.
They don't love one another. It's not. They're
Oh,
hate and
you
love.
know.
They're
you
raw
know. You
all
know
over
better
the
than
poison
that.
of hate
Are
and
you
love.
gay? I'm going to ask you for the
No,
money.
absolutely
And how do you
not.
know? How do you know if they
Because
don't love
Eros
each other?
has to be governed by the good for it to be a good
doesn't know
Eros.
shit about
And
whether
they may
what
be
they
in
feel.
erotic, have some sort of erotic attraction, but that's not love.
How do you
properly
know
defined.
you're not gay, right? How do
Love
you know?
properly defined means looking out for another person first. Right?
No, it doesn't.
Looking
That's
out
your
for another
definition
person
of love.
first means helping them
That's
out with
your
their
definition of love.
define their
All right.
nature.
All right. So
That's charity. That's the everlasting philosophy of natural laws.
We got to
definition
go,
of love,
Ryan.
not mine.
We got to go.
The born gay hoax was invented in 1985.
All right, you're done. You're repeating yourself. Okay. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it. YouTube's going to appreciate it. And get some help, okay? You judge other people, and you're sick, and you make their lives worse. You make their lives worse because you're a terrible person that judges other people, and you don't know anything about them. They love each other. They love each other. You don't know anything about them, and all you ever do is judge them. You're a sick, sick person. You're the real evil in the world. You are the real evil in the world because you make people feel terrible about themselves.
He's probably going to edit this part out, but he's a nut job. Thanks.
All right, there you go. You got it. Thank you. Good night.
This guy's a pro-sodomy activist.
Did you guys hear that? He said this guy's a pro-sodomy activist. All right, thank you, Ryan.